Hello, beautifuls. This is Atleen, and I'm coming to you with another video. So tonight we will be discussing the two-tier campus design, also known as the collapse core architecture. And a collapse core architecture is a two-tier topology where the core and distribution layers consolidate. Recently, though, Cisco said not everyone needs a core layer and a distribution layer. And we discussed this yesterday, which is a three-tier topology. So today we're discussing a two-tier topology. So Cisco is basically emphasizing that if the company, corporation, enterprise doesn't have hundreds of buildings that needs to be interconnected, maybe we have 2 or 3 buildings, or maybe just this one building. Do we really need to buy these super expensive core layer, multi-layer switches to interconnect the buildings? So this is where making a decision of deciding which one is the best, two-tier or three-tier layer architecture. So this is when we use the collapsed core architecture, collapsed core layer. That's where you take the core and collapse the core and your distribution and collapse them together. So as you can see on we're going to read from page 290. And I'll go ahead and read analyzing LAN topologies. The term campus LAN refers to the LAN created to support the devices in a building or in multiple buildings in somewhat close proximity to one another. For example, a company might lease office space in several buildings in the same office park. The network engineers can then build a campus LAN that includes switches in each building, plus Ethernet links between the switches in the building to create a larger campus LAN. So we're discussing two-tier campus design, also known as collapse core tonight. Last night we discussed three-tier campus design. So in figure 13-1, this is 13-1. Shows a typical design of a large campus local area network with the terminology included in the figure. The LAN has around 1,000 PCs connected to switches that support around 25 ports each. Cisco uses 3 terms to describe the role of each switch, in a campus design, which is access, distribution, and core. And for those terms each, I explained those in yesterday's video when I did the three-tier architect video. So if you would like, you can go back to that video. Again, they are going to be access, distribution, and as you can see, with the two-tier, access layer is on the bottom, distribution is on the top. And the figure shows a two-tier design. This is on page 291, chapter 13. Topic is LAN architecture. And the figure shows a two-tier design, with the tiers being the access tier. And tier is not synonymous with layer. So the access tier for layer or layer, and the distribution tier for layer. A two-tier design solves two major design needs. Number one is provides a place to connect in user devices, the access layer, with access switches. Number two, connects the switches with a reasonable number of cables and switches and switch ports by connecting all 40 access switches to two distribution switches. As you can see, the topology is a partial mesh and a star topology. Basically, it's hybrid. Again, a star topology is a design in which one central device connects in several others. So that if you drew the links out in all directions, the design would look like a star with light shining in all directions. A partial mesh is defined as, for any set of network nodes, a design that connects a link between some parts of nodes, but not all. In other words, a mesh that is not a full mesh. I'm showing you a full mesh and a star topology. And as you can see here, this is not a full mesh. This is a star topology at the bottom access layer and partial mesh. Armed with those formal definitions, note that the two-tier design is indeed a hybrid design that uses both a star topology at the access layer and a partial mesh at the distribution layer. Okay, now we're going to go to, do I know this already? And we discussed two-tier architecture today. And the question that we discussed today is two-tier. So I will read the question in related to the topic. In a two-tier campus LAN design, which of the following are typically true of the topology design? B, the design uses a partial mesh of links between access and distribution switches. The end user and server devices connect directly to access layer and switches. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I wish you well.